In this video, we're going to use AI to create marketing videos like this and this. This is for a plushie company I'm creating called Graveyard Goonies. I plan to create more spooky little guys like this one. And we're going to do that using Sora. If you don't know what Sora is, it is ChatGPT's AI video generator. It creates videos based on whatever pictures or videos that you give it. And I'd say it is the best video AI generator out right now. There's still some problems with it, but it's still pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. I'll show you some videos that I've made with it. And for fun, I may actually use these videos for marketing advertisements on TikTok or Facebook just to see what happens, because I'm just curious. How well will these videos do? We're going to get into how I created these videos. So I'm going to start with a picture that I took a while ago of this plushie on my Roomba. There's nothing really added to it. It's just a picture of it with some text that says limited time only. And I fed this image to ChatGPT. And let's start with the first image, or the first generation that it gave me, and that is this one here. And I've been messing around with the prompts, whether or not they should be super detailed or pretty concise. And I started with being concise. You could see the prompt that I used in this one is zombie plushie riding on a Roomba around the floor. And this is what it gave me. It didn't have much to go off of. And I'll show you the results it gave me with a more detailed prompt. But for this, we're going to start with a short one. So the Roomba becomes its own little transformer and comes with a LED light and starts spinning around. I mean, this is pretty cool. I don't know. This is not really what I'm looking for. And I don't think it would be great for like marketing purposes. Maybe if you were to like cut these videos up and put it into like a full fleshed out video that has like real footage mixed in with like stuff like this. Maybe this even could be used for like a visual hook, like the first 2 or 3 seconds of the video advertisement to capture the viewer's attention. And my purpose with plushies, like since I have the actual plushie in hand, I think this can actually be useful for advertisement purposes. Let's go on to the next one. Here, I get a little bit more detailed, but it's just not, there's a few errors in this one because the eye kind of disappears, but I do like the Roomba is now actually moving on the floor rather than it just being a still image. If we go back to this one, you can see it just stands in one place, and then like a little Roomba, a little minier Roomba comes and pops up. So now we'll go into my third one. Let's see what this is. Now this one I actually really like. You could have easily just gotten this from like a video. I would just record my Roomba moving with my plushie on it, and I might have a video of that somewhere, but it does a really good job. Like this could be real. There's a little bit of an error if you look at the reflection. It starts to have 3 arms, but I mean, not many people are going to notice that. I mean, you've seen the videos on TikTok Shop. They don't have to be great. They don't have to be super detailed. If I didn't have a video, I just had this picture, this would be great. And I could probably even find a use for this somewhere. I would also, if I had to do this again, I'm pretty sure I have the Photoshop file for this picture where I could remove the limited time only, so I would just have the raw video. I would recommend if you're working with marketing material, not to have text on it if you can, so you could put that on later. But let's look at the fourth one. Now, the fourth one, we're getting a little bit more movement here, and it looks like I used a storyboard. I was just kind of testing it to see what would happen. And this is actually pretty cool. It even does like a graphical effect. The text at the top kind of unfolds, which is pretty cool, but it's super easy to do on your own. And I've kind of noticed that with Sora AI is that it does really cheesy effects. I don't know where it's getting that from. And I'll show you more problems that Sora AI has later, but let's just ignore the text and let's see. Actually, I'm going to download this so I can show you like frame by frame what I'm looking at. So if I were to use this for marketing material, I don't like this part where the plushie is kind of malformed. I don't think that looks good, but it does a cool like sweeping transition. So if I were going to use this, I'd probably cut this right here and then just start bam. Like that actually looks pretty good. Like, yeah, these AI videos have a little few problems in them if you were to look very close, but if you were to take the best parts of them and stitch them together, like here, I just put 3 together. Boom, boom. Okay, that could probably be edited better. Hopefully you get my point here. Just take the best parts of them and then stitch them together, throw some music on it, and then put it up on as a TikTok ad. But one cool TikTok ad that I thought would work really well is if I had a child involved, like hugging the plushie and showing like how cuddleable it is. Now I don't have a child that I could do this on my own. I could probably use my cousin's child because he loves this plushie, which is one of the reasons why I'm making more, because I've had a lot of people say that I should make more of these. But anyway, I'll show you later. I use a prompt to kind of generate an AI child that hugs the plushie, and I'll show you the results I got with that later. But let's continue on with this picture here. Let's see, is this, yeah, we already did this one. Now this one is actually pretty clean. This one is clean. This one's clean. Like if I didn't have, I wish I didn't have the, like I would do this again without the text because I don't want the text there. I just want this right here where he's just gliding around on this floor. Like this looks good and could be totally usable without the text. Now there is an open AI watermark and I wouldn't doubt it if like you could probably crop this out, but I bet they have some kind of, I mean, it's like AI technology, so they gotta have some kind of digital fingerprints around this whole video. You might have to check the policies to see if you could use these videos for marketing purposes. I haven't checked the policies, and I'm not able to download the video not watermarked. You probably need that $200 a month plan for ChatGPT before you can download it without a watermark. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments. Now let's go into the other picture that I gave it. Here's another picture that I took a while ago. I think this is a pretty good one. But I used this. I put it into ChatGPT, and this was the first. Oh, and this is where it gets kind of crazy. I got lucky. And I got a pretty good one for the first. This is the very first time I used it for this picture for the plushie. And this is him like getting up and doing some kind of dance. Let's look at the prompt. The sitting zombie plushie stands up from sitting and starts dancing. And I mean, that is what he does. And it does look pretty consistent. His hair, as he starts bouncing around, starts to become messy and almost looks like dreads, but he is kind of dancing, so this looks good. But for some reason, it always adds like a still image, or even like, what is this? This is a frame in the video that it gave me. I don't know what this is, but it like starts out with the frame, and then as you go down, it like he suddenly like gets up. It's not smooth, so I'd cut like right here and then show this part if I were going to use this for anything. Yeah, this is pretty good and could be used. I know that these videos aren't perfect, but I mean, dude, think about this. 6 to 8 months from now, the AI video generation is going to be a lot better. So I would suggest you guys start learning now how to use this, so when it starts to become more viable, you know how to use it. So let's look at the second one. Second one. Let's see, is this good or not? See, this is another great example of how it's just like still image. It moves a little bit for some reason, and then bam, just like something totally different. And this actually might be usable, is it? Yeah, this one's not bad. I could use this one too. What was this? What was this prompt? This one is not a super detailed one. I tried to give it a little more detail myself, just a little bit. This sitting zombie plushie stands up from sitting and starts doing the gritty like a professional dancer. He doesn't do the gritty. I've noticed while doing this, you're gonna have to re-roll a lot. And what I mean by re-roll is just do the same generation with the same prompt over again until it looks good. You just kind of got to get lucky, or just keep generating until you get something usable. Here's where it gets really crazy. Let's look at the prompt. The sitting zombie plushie stands up, grabs a piece of pizza from his pocket, and takes 2 bites. Now here I'm just kind of like testing the limits of Sora to see like what it can do, what its limits are, and I think I found it. So again, totally sitting zombie, and then we get right into this where it's like a completely new plushie. And I mean, he's eating pizza, but like, what is happening, and what is this setting? What is the environment? Where did the hand come from? I do have a picture where it is my hand, so I'm like kind of confused how it got, but I didn't use it until after, so I'm like confused at how it got this just idea from. Did it look into the future and see I was gonna give it that image? I don't know. I'll show you guys later, but this one, same one. Now, if I had a plushie that looked like this guy, this could be usable. This would be pretty cool. All right, this one, same one. It's my zombie plushie in a whole nother universe doing something, and look at the environment. Like, It's a room full of plushies and toys, which is cool. It's just the plushie does not look like my dude at all. But the movements look great. They look great. I wish they were more in frame, but it looks pretty good. This guy, he actually does I told it to do a 360-degree spin, and he kind of does that. He kind of just starts breakdancing. Like he puts his hand, or he jumps around, puts his hand on the floor, then does like a breakdancing 360 spin in the air. Like that would be cool if it looked like my actual dude. Maybe if my guy were bald, maybe it would work. And I'll show you guys here in a few how I discovered how to get better prompts very easily. I'm just showing you what I've done so far. If you don't know me or this channel, I do a lot of stuff with AI tools, marketing, anything internet. So if you're into that, hit the like button, subscribe so that YouTube knows you want to see my videos, and I'll show up on your homepage. So I wanted to see what would happen if I gave it a simple image, just like a 2D logo. I wanted to see if it could give me some kind of useful graphical element, and it kind of did. This is the problem that I found. So it'll give you the still image, but then it just goes instantly right into its AI generative video, which is not what I want. If it were to look like, maybe I could use this, but it's not what I'm wanting. I want it. Here's the prompt. Create a stunning 15-second animation inspired by this logo. Start with an atmospheric lab setting where bubbling green liquid fills glass. This is a prompt that I use from ChatGPT. I mean, this looks good. It's just, what I want it to do is take my image and use that image, kind of animate it with graphics together, not have, okay, here's the image I gave it, here's the image it generated, and there's no like blend in between. That's what I want, and I've been having issues with that. And we can see that with this video here, where it does create some kind of cool 3D cinema 4D animation. It does not unify with the source that I gave it. All right, so now we're going to start getting into a more detailed prompt and how to get a more detailed prompt. Like here's what I got with using a detailed prompt. I also tried to include a child hugging the plushie. It looks decent. I would need to re-roll this a few times to make it a little bit better because the child just looks kind of creepy and awkward. But this is getting to where I want it to be. So let's see, how do we get a detailed prompt for Sora? Here's what I figured. I figured since ChatGPT and Sora are made from the same company, maybe a detailed prompt will be more understandable for it. So this is what I did. I gave it the picture and I just talked into my microphone. I like to do this a lot. When you're creating a prompt, it doesn't have to be perfect and detailed. You can just talk to it and tell it what you want. You can include all the uhs and ums, and I don't know about this, but maybe you could figure it out. You could say that, and ChatGPT is smart enough to understand what you're saying. So for this, I just hit, I don't know what it is on Mac, but you can hit Windows key H and you can talk into the prompt. So see, I'm talking, I want to create a plushie where his eye is falling out and a child comes out of frame. Like you could see that it is doing voice to text into the prompt instantly. And I do this a lot. It's super easy and just saves you from arthritis from typing a lot. So that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm not getting the results I want, so we're going to do a different picture now. For this one, I want the child out of the frame on the right. I want their hand to come in and pick up the plushie, and then the camera pans to the child. They're hugging the plushie and I want you to create a prompt for this. Here is the prompt that it gave me, and this is what I used for this last video generation here. So yeah, you can use ChatGPT to help you come up with a more detailed prompt, and it doesn't do too bad. Honestly, I didn't even read this. I could probably make some edits here and there, but you know, I'm just gonna copy and paste and see what comes out. So let's do this again, see what it comes up with. So let's copy. And also, I didn't mention this before, but you can feed ChatGPT images. So you could just take a picture from your files and just drop it in there. Bam, it's right here. ChatGPT it's called ChatGPT Visualize or OpenAI Visualize, where it sees a picture and it can describe the picture. Let's just kind of test that right now. Describe this image I just sent you. So this says the image shows a plushie toy, which appears to be a blue zombie themed character with a black hair, stitched forehead, and a missing eye patch. Plushie has a vibrant pink brain, details on top of its head. It's holding a small white plushie ball in one hand. Okay, that's one thing I would need to change because it's not holding the eyeball. The eyeball is just coming out from his eye socket. The plushie is being held up by an adult hand, which is visible at the bottom of the image. See, it does a very good job of describing in detail the image, and it probably details it more than I could. There's just, you know, a few things you need to edit. But we are going to take this image. Let's just read it real quick just to make sure there are no things that should not be there. So here it says revealing an AI generated child. I don't need that detail, so I'm just going to remove that. I'm just going to say revealing a child who is smiling with joy as they hug the plushie tightly to their chest. And I think part of this prompt is not necessary, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove this part of it, and I'm just going to use this. I'm going to hit Control A to copy, and let's take that, go back into Sora, and let's paste that into our prompt here, and then we're going to drag and drop our image. Okay, we can't drag and drop that. So this button here on Sora are presets. We don't need any presets. We're just going to choose none. For the aspect ratio, since I got a better result from the 1v1, from the 1:1 here, I'm going to choose 1:1. They also have, you know, portrait mode like this, or landscape mode, but it's kind of cutting off my character here. So I'm just going to go 1:1. Let's do 720p. Let's just see what happens. And we're going to, okay, never mind. We can't do 720p 10 seconds. So we're going to go back to 480p, change this to 10 seconds, and variations. Let's go with, I want to create 2 videos from this. Let's see what happens, and let's hit generate. So while this is generating, I just wanted to see like what my plan included, and I pay $20 for ChatGPT. So it looks like it gives you 1,000 credits per month. My credits reset next month, and I've used up about half my credits, and you can kind of see these are all the video generations that I've used. So there's about 30 generations that I've done. So 30 generations is about 500 credits. So just keep that in mind. But we now have our finished prompt. Let's just cross our fingers and hope that this is good. Let's check it out. Okay, my plushie guy is enlarging. He's gotten a lot bigger now. And the person is just, okay, this isn't too bad. I know it looks weird. There's a lot of like morphing and hallucinations, like the chair is kind of morphing. But the action that the person is taking is kind of real. Like the person is taking the plushie, making it, or readjusting its sitting position, but the eye is kind of floating there. So this would require some kind of re-roll. But now I'm curious what would happen if I were to take this same image, and instead of using a detailed prompt like this, let's make it more concise. So I'm going to say, make this prompt more concise, and I'm going to paste the prompt in. Let's see what it does. And if you guys know of any ways to get better outputs with Sora AI, please let us know in the comments. That would be super helpful. So we got a bit more concise prompt here. I'm not even going to read it, honestly. We're just going to take this, copy it. You can click into an image and edit a prompt, so you don't have to like upload it every time. So let's just edit prompt, Control A to select all, Control V to paste in our new prompt. What happened? Let's see what happens if we go 720p 5 seconds. Let's just see what happens. Maybe we'll get a better looking chair that is not like morphing. All right, we got our new generation here, crossing our fingers. Let's click on it. Let's see what we got. We're getting that. Oh yeah. See, this is one of the problems that I keep coming across, where it gives me a whole another universe. This is not what I'm looking for. This has nothing to do. What is that? This is not the plushie that I gave you or the plushie that I described. Maybe what if we need to describe the plushie more? Let's take this. Let's actually, all right, so let's just talk to GPT, tell it our problems. So I'm not getting the output that I want. With Sora keeps giving me a whole different, it gives me a whole different look. It's not the plushie that I originally gave it. It's giving me a whole nother universe. So I want you, this might help Sora AI. I want you to describe the plushie to Sora so it understands what the plushie is and what it looks like, but then also doing the action that I mentioned above. Let's hit enter. Okay, so we're going to take this prompt. There is an error in it I do need to fix. So we're going to put this in the notepad and make that change real quick. It keeps thinking that it's holding the eye in its hand, but it's not. So it says it has one large black eye patch with its eye hanging out by a red string. That's good. So we're going to copy that and let's go to edit prompt and paste this new prompt in and let's see what it gives us. While this is generating, if you guys want to see my journey on getting batch orders made, how I am learning and talking to manufacturers on Alibaba, all the things included with that. If you want the details, let me know in the comments. It's definitely a journey. It's something I've never done before, so totally new and exciting. All right, we got a new generation here. Let's go and click on that, and we're getting something a little closer to what we're looking for here. We're getting closer, but we're still pretty far off. It is the top half torso of a child that comes in and hugs a plushie, which is so close to what I want. It's just not there. Where's the lower half of the body? I mean, maybe if I were to cut it, maybe I could make this work. But the plushie also kind of gets right here. It looks good. Right here, it looks good. I just wish the chair weren't there so people didn't know. Like I might be able to make this like a still image, maybe. Like pause, boom, right here. Marketing asset. That's pretty good. This could be finagled into a marketing video, maybe a video, but definitely a picture. This looks good. And this is one of the reasons why I am so into AI video generation, because to get a picture like this, I would have to go hire a child, find a location to do this, find a location to take a picture. For me, just starting out, there's just too many logistics for me to go and do all that when I could just use an AI video generation software like Sora to create something like this that is totally usable. And of course, it has its problems, but you just kind of have to work around those for now, because months from now, it's going to be a lot better. Like AI is starting to become more and more unnoticeable. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but there's just been the Game Awards, and they just had this game on it here, which is AI generated. Like, if you look closely, you could see in this part of the video here, this is AI. Like, I'm not so sure they have gameplay of this game. If you look at the game here, like, there is not any gameplay. This is all just video. You can definitely tell this is AI generated, but it's generated pretty well. So already today, people didn't know this Catly game was AI generated until after it was being presented on the Game Awards. Yeah, I just wanted to show you Sora AI and what you could do with it to create marketing assets. And maybe you have other use cases for AI generated videos. Sora is the best one out there right now. I do want to get to a point where I can use these videos for marketing on TikTok or Facebook as advertisements. So if you want to see where I go with that and how I do it, hit the subscribe button. And if you've made it this far in the video, just type in the comments plushie so I know that you're real and you've watched the video, and I'll see you in the next video.